The fact that you're asking me this means that you're desperately trying to prove that you're not a hoe. The truth of the matter is, he was still married to me.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? You have now tuned in to my Basketball Wives recap. I feel like I haven't done Basketball Wives in a minute, but we are back. You guys did vote when I put up my little Twitter vote, and y'all said that y'all wanted to see it. Well, the majority of the people said they wanted to see it. Some people was like, no, and some people was like, I really could care less. So I was like, all right, we're going to go with the majority. Majority rules. And since I already do a recap on Mondays, why not, right? Okay, so Evelyn Lazado is back. And guys, make sure that you comment down below for your chance to get your little comment, answered or shouted out on my next recap, okay? So yeah, Evelyn Lazado, she is in LA, honey, okay? And she is ready to be back on TV. We already know she met up with Shaunie, said she want her job back, and Shaunie gave her job back. So she just got to get everybody in line and get everybody ready to kind of know they're going to be meeting up. And that's just how it's going to go. So she's been struggling, she mentions, because she recently had a child, maybe like 3 years ago, with her fiance right now. Her fiance is a baseball player. And sorry, my leg. Yeah, he's a basketball player, or an ex-basketball player from what she says, and they're trying to have another child. She said that she's had 3 miscarriages already, and she said that she feels like she's connected to each one that she's lost. And until you've experienced something like that, you can't really say like, oh my gosh, like how could you experience something like that? I mean, because like most of you know, I did recently experience that, and you definitely do get this fire inside of you where you're just like, oh my gosh, like I want to try again, or I want to carry my own child, or whatever, and it just kind of makes you realize that the clock is truly ticking. And it's just kind of like an eye-opening experience. And you are connected to the person that you lost, which is something that no one else can ever really talk to you or tell you about. So yeah, she says that she never messed with a married man. That's what she tells, Evelyn or whatever. And she doesn't want that type of label. And she says that she doesn't really want to argue, but she's pretty much not going to let nobody punk her neither. So if she got to say something, she's going to say what she got to say. So Jacki's daughter, Chantel, is pregnant, honey. And she's pregnant for a basketball player who is a player for like, I forgot where, like somewhere overseas. And, Jacki, she feels some type of way about it, but she's like, whatever. She also mentions that her other daughter had created a GoFundMe account because her grandchild had pretty much got burned really badly at daycare. I'm like, what kind of daycare was this kid at? That you getting burned like that? Like, that should have been a lawsuit. But at the end of the day, like, you're not going to get the money real quick, even if you do sue. So I understand why she did I kind of understand why she did a GoFundMe. According to what I was reading, because I remember when this did come out and it really did blow up all over the internet, they were saying that due to her being a darker complexion, Jacki never really loved her and never really supported, or even I didn't even know she had another child, another daughter. Never mind, this girl is struggling. And I guess Evelyn had put up money. She put up the entire amount, which was $3,200 or $3,500, and paid pretty much for Jacki's grandchild to get surgery or whatever the money was for. So Jacki says that she kind of felt some type of way about it because people was coming in her DM saying that Evelyn was saying that she was a bad mother and how she needed to help her and this and that. I mean, at the end of the day, she did something that obviously nobody else had done. So I don't think she should be that upset about it. I mean, if somebody's throwing shade, I guess you're going to feel some type of way. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do and somebody else steps up, how can you necessarily be mad at them, So funny enough, we know that Tammy is also having her own fertility issues because we learned about that in previous seasons, or maybe it was the last season, where her and her boyfriend, they're trying to have a child, and he's younger, and sometimes Tammy just feels like she's not young enough to do it anymore, or she's not really sure if she wants to continue it on because she has lost children through this whole process, and she would rather carry her own child. So she's really trying hard in order to do this. And even when she thought she was pregnant, she wasn't. So yeah, it's crazy how they're going through similar situations, but because they have this feud going, they can't even kind of like come together and maybe like share stories or whatever. So Tammy says she pretty much says that she's not going to be fake when she meets her, and she doesn't want to do all that kumbaya fake stuff. Like, nah, she's not going to do that. Tammy talks to Jacki, and both of them, as we know, they have some type of issue with Evelyn. Jacki's issue is the whole, oh, you paid this money for my grandchild, but you throwing shade thing. And then Tammy, they just have this whole ongoing feud. And she feels like perhaps if Evelyn was to say sorry, she might just accept it and be able to move forward. But she says that she was kind of dragging her name through the mud with like interviews and things like that she was doing. So Tammy, I mean, when she met up with this chick, when she met up with Jacki, she was looking real cute. Like I don't know. It's something about Tammy. Like, I feel like certain hairstyles really make her look younger and, like a goddess and all that. That little hairstyle she had was really laid and slayed. The only thing, I just feel like she's gotten so thin over time. I mean, I don't know if she's trying to do a healthy lifestyle, because I did see her on Wife Swap, and she did mention that she had a heart attack, and the family that she swapped lives with, they were like really super duper healthy and gave her tips and said, you really need to change your life and do things and just kind of get out there, exercise and eat better. So maybe it kind of like struck a chord, and maybe that's what she's been doing, because I noticed she's lost a lot of weight, and she wasn't even, a big girl to begin with ever since she did her little liposuction stuff that she had did. So with that, she says that she says that Evelyn is not that 100 type of chick. Like, she doesn't keep it 100%, you know what I mean? And she says that one of the things that really bothered her the most was that she thought that her and Evelyn were building some type of friendship or relationship or whatever. And for Evelyn to have known and kept this quiet, I think she just kind of felt stupid. Like, I'm over here kikiing and laughing and, we're building a relationship, but you slept with my husband and you didn't even have the decency to say anything. So I guess she kind of felt like, oh, I was the last to know, joke's on me. And that's why I feel like she's not able to really like let that go so easily. So yeah, that's their thing. And we meet another chick. We actually met two chicks in this particular episode, but one of them, they didn't really say her name. They didn't really introduce her. So I don't know if she's going to be on the show. When they had the party, they showed like a either Hispanic or white chick that was Jacki's hoe. But we meet a chick named Kiana. And when she showed her boyfriend, I was there looking at the screen like, I know this guy from somewhere. His face looks so familiar. But I used to watch basketball back in the days, but I haven't really like been following up on basketball in a minute, because there's so many other things that it is just more interesting to me. But back in the days, honey, when the TV was limited, I was a basketball junkie. Like, back when Shaq and Kobe was ruling LA, honey child, you couldn't tell me nothing. I knew all the players' names. I knew the numbers. I used to bet on them. Like, it was serious. But I just kind of grew out of that. So anyways, yeah, so this dude's name is Nick Young, and I'm like looking at the screen like, hold on, I know this man from somewhere. His face looks so familiar. He must be a good player or something. But then as she goes on and she tells the story, I'm like, all right, now I understand. Now I know where I seen his face. So dude is the same guy that was engaged to Iggy Azalea, that everybody was talking about him. I guess they was together and they broke up. They was engaged and all that. Like, it was a big, big thing. But then he actually cheated on her with Kiana. But Kiana says that she's not the side chick. she has the story of Amina and Tara. Like Tara, I wasn't the side chick because I was the first chick. Like, dude. I mean, I get where she coming from, but I mean, I think they're all wrong in the situation because she says that Iggy knew about her and allowed him to kind of keep on going back to her. And he felt like this behavior was acceptable because he was allowed to do it. And I mean, everybody has their sides of the story. It's your side, my side, and the right side, you know, and we don't really know what the right side is. But from according to what she's saying, she says that she already had a child by him. And even though they were engaged or whatever, he would come back to her and the heart wants what it wants. And she just, now she's trying to move on after the fact. Her baby is about to be like 5 months or something in this particular filming. So she just kind of feels like she needs to kind of, I feel like she's just rushing it because she just wants to move on so badly so that if somebody's there, he can't come back, you know? And it could be just kind of rushing it too quickly, or relationships like that is kind of like they don't last a lot of times. But I think she's just kind of trying to fill that void right now. So that it's like, okay, you can't come back here because it's occupied. There's a guy here. There's no space for you right now, you know? My bed it's nice and warm and cozy. So yeah, and she did get emotional about it because she's like, the people kind of came at her crazy and she's looked at as this evil woman who kind of broke up a relationship or whatever. And she's like, it's not even like that. It's a totally different thing. So yeah, that was her side of the story. Evelyn walks into the party fashionably late. So it was a party time, the 70s disco theme. And she was trying to give Tammy a hug and a kiss. And I'm just like, really though? That's how we doing, right? Like, to be honest, like I love me some Tammy, and I don't always agree with everything she does. I'll be honest about that because I'm one of those friends that'll tell you like, I don't think that's a good idea, you know. But right there, I was totally with her. I felt for her, and I know why she did that because we're not cruel. When was the last time you spoke to me? You blocked me on social media, and now you want to come hug up and kiss like we just was talking on the phone last night? We're not friends. You said all kind of stuff about me on interviews and stuff like that. Nah. So Evelyn's just like, oh, we're going to start out with the shade. And she's like, it's not even about that. It's just, that's kind of fake to be doing the kiss and hug thing, you know? And she just kind of looked at her like she had 3 heads. And I'm like, she's being honest with you. Like, this is the truth. So as soon as Jacki sees her, she wants to pull her to the side and steal the moment and talk to her. And she tells her like, oh, why did you have to help my daughter? She didn't need any help. And Jacki, they had their little talk, but I think that when Jacki actually sees the commentary that Evelyn did, she'll probably be upset about it because in her face, she was just kind of like, I did it out of the genuine kindness of my heart. And Jacki was able to accept that. But in the commentary, she was just kind of like, well, you obviously weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing, or she would not have went to social media. And I felt like I wanted to do it. So that's why I helped your daughter out. I mean, there was shade involved in that whole little comment there. And I know for a fact, if somebody said, oh, you know, I did it because of kindness, whatever. You know, you're acting real genuine in person, but then behind the scenes you want to be all sarcastic and extra. Like, that would upset me. That would definitely upset me. I know the producers probably asked them questions and they're at the heat of the moment. They're just saying whatever they think is funny, or they think, I guess, like their conscience type of thing. Excuse me, I like burped while I was talking. But that can get you effed up. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta still think when you ask the question. And I feel like Evelyn was just being a little bit shady in the confessional. So yeah, Jacki, she ended up leaving because she had to go to somewhere. I think she said Chicago or somewhere, or maybe to meet up with Doug. She went somewhere. So Evelyn and Tammy, they finally sit down and have like a face-to-face, okay? And when they sit down, it's like Evelyn was trying to prove something, not only to herself, but to the world, to show like, oh, I didn't really sleep with him while he was with her. And Tammy was trying to tell her, like, I don't even want to get into the particulars. Like, all Tammy, I feel like Tammy really wanted was like a genuine apology about the whole fact that she thought they was having a friendship, and she couldn't do that because Evelyn was so stuck in the, I want to be relieved of this, I'm the side chick, or I was the side chick, or I had an affair with your husband type of thing. She wants to kind of rescind that name and just kind of move forward. And Tammy wasn't trying to hear the BS. Like, she's like, oh, didn't you divorce him in 98? And she's like, that's not what we're talking about here. And she was like, that's beside the fact. And actually, she was like, when did you file the divorce papers? I mean, she's like, actually, I was still married when you guys slept together. And that's the truth. Like, even if you file the divorce papers, if you want to get technical with it, you can say like they were still married at the end of the day. So Evelyn, she says that she feels like she didn't have an affair with him because, quote unquote, she didn't even know about her. That's why she had called her a non-mother effing factor back in the days, which, that blew up so big back in the days. Like, that was hashtags everywhere. It's still pretty big, Classic moment. Hashtag classic. So Tammy, she just wasn't really for it, and Evelyn ends up like walking away because it did seem like it could get bad. Shaunie was kind of trying to sit there and just make sure that things weren't going left. Like, she was making sure, like, when she sort of finger pointed, like, okay, ladies, let me intervene real quick, try to get them back grounded before things get out of control. Later on, Tammy did meet with Shaunie, and Tammy shows like the receipts. Okay, she shows that she at least was able to show like one particular incident or one particular interview where she pretty much did, and she was talking about Tammy and addressed things. I mean, if she didn't want to address anything, she just should have said, next question, or I don't feel like I want to talk about it. This interview's about me, not about Tammy, or whatever, But she proceeded to answer the questions, which Tammy feels some type of way about. And this was just one particular scenario. I think there were several from what it sounds like. And Tammy was just really hilarious. She was like, she's trying to pretend like she didn't F herself through 3 players associations. And I'm looking at it like, wait, hold on. 3 players associations? I'm like, wait, what does that mean? I'm like, wait, okay, Ocho Cinco, he was basketball, wasn't he? No, he was football. And then before that, I think she was with a basketball player. That's who her daughter's by, right? And then now she's with a baseball player, and this was all in the time frame of 6 years. So now it makes sense. I had to do a math puzzle, honey, in my head with no word problems. I was sitting here like, I was never too good in math, but let me see what she's talking about. Oh my goodness. So, even Shaunie, who tries to remain neutral, had to laugh at that one. I mean, I don't know if somebody would get upset that she was laughing, like, you're supposed to be my friend. How you laughing at something like that? Like, that's not a joke. But, it was funny. Can't deny that. And yeah, she also says that Evelyn is currently a mistress for the man that she's with now. And I'm just like, ooh, honey, what tea you got? Let me know, boo. I ain't hear about all of this. I mean, because I don't really follow Evelyn. I mean, I remember she had a show back in the day, but I don't think it got too far because obviously she's back on Basketball Wives. And she just I feel like she looks older sometimes. Like, there's some clips where she just looks super airbrushed. I don't know if they use that the Final Cut, they use that glam it up and airbrush or whatever. But and then there was some parts where she just looks a lot older. Like, you can tell, like, compared to back in the days, like, she has aged a lot. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's in her like probably like 40s or so. I don't know. These ladies, they are definitely, very relentless to continue to try to have children at the age because, it's a lot of risk involved and things like that the older that you get. but they're willing to, you know, sacrifice their bodies to have another child, which is like, wow. I mean, for me, I'm just a little scaredy cat. Like, I don't even know if I want to do it again. You know, it was a traumatizing experience. So, yeah. But it definitely does give you a little bit of courage. Just a little bit. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I will see you in the next one.